Hi everyone. If someone says to me that their dog doesn't seem to be able to learn what they're teaching them, one thing I always check is how consistent that person is being with the training. Let's have a look at why consistency is so important to success. Dogs typically learn from experience. It may be they watch other dogs doing it. It may be something that you show them how to do. It may be something they try and discover that it works. Occasional successes are going to inspire them to try again. And the classic example of this is begging at the table. If your dog gets scraps fed from your plate at the table on one occasion, you can be sure they will be there next time to see if there is anything going. Being consistent gives your dog a framework that helps them to understand more easily what is going to be happening in a given situation. And then they learn what they ought to be doing. So if we stick to the same routine, for example, they will learn that you're going out and they're not coming with you. They learn to stay home alone. Perhaps it's about using the same cue. If you use a whole variety of words to mean one thing, then it's harder for them to figure it out. If you say, hold on a minute, just a moment, then that's not the same as wait. It's much easier for them to learn that one word, wait, than a whole string of words or a sentence that you might say to a person with the ultimate meaning of wait there a bit. And we also want them to get the same outcome. If the end result is reliable, then they can learn, if the person says this, if the person does this, I know what is coming next. And that will make it more easy for them to remember. We want to therefore think about the routine, the cue, and the outcome. And this applies as much to behaviours you don't want as ones you do. Think not only about the cues or the routine or the outcomes around behaviours you're trying to teach your dog, but also about the ones you are inadvertently teaching your dog. So let's think about something you might teach them by mistake. A good example of this is when you pick up the lead, they learn that that means they're going for a walk. You haven't actually said walk is or similar words. Just the fact you've picked up the leads, or maybe you've gone to put your shoes on at a certain time of day or a certain pair of shoes, to them means something relevant to them is happening, in this case, that walk. If you want them to keep their feet on the floor and not be jumping up and down, you're going to need to wait until their feet are on the floor before you go ahead with putting the lead on. This is a simple example that shows you how we can teach them different things in one situation. By picking up the lead, they get excited, they start jumping around. If we wrestle with them to get that lead on, then they learn that it's okay to behave that way. If they don't get to go for their walk until they can be calm, and you can put the lead on with them staying calm, then they're going to learn that in order to go for a walk, they need to keep their feet on the floor. And this example is very much about overexcitement or lack of self-control. And it is understandable that they get excited. Then going for a walk is a big part of their day quite often. So we can understand that. We want to, however, reward the dog for calm behaviour and wait till they are calm before they get the reward. And this helps them to learn more acceptable alternatives to do in that situation. The key things to remember here is we don't want to tease them. For example, you offer the toy and then you pull it away. They're going to learn to snatch to try and get hold of that toy. Think about what you might be teaching them by mistake. Reward them when it's expected. And you can reward with praise. You can reward with a touch, such as a stroke or a pet. You could reward with food. You could reward with play. It really depends on what your dog values. Do make sure everyone in the household is on board so that you are all training the dog and all teaching the dog things in the same way. If they are learning different things from different people, it just makes everything a little bit more complicated for them. And that can apply to visitors as well. If there are things you want the visitors to do or not do with the dog when they arrive, then make sure you warn them in advance, and that can help you to move your training ahead more quickly. Here comes Jimmy. Hello, Jim. So that's all for today. We'll be back again soon with more tips for you. Bye for now. Look out for new videos every Monday, and why not subscribe so you don't miss out.